should be more grateful, my friend. Free to travel, to spend time in nature, to enjoy clean rivers, lakes, and mountains. I'm so thankful for so many people, state park employees and volunteers who spend countless hours cleaning up and maintaining recreation areas, state parks, national forests, and campsites like this one on lakeside in the North Georgia mountains. We are so lucky. The escape to nature reminds me how wonderful it is to be alive and enjoy our beautiful home. You probably heard that there are big plans to shoot people out in space and establish colonies on the moon and Mars. I guess we humans have this urge for growth, expansion, accumulation, and conquest. If you follow this channel, my friend, you are probably just fine right here. For us, this is paradise and heaven, and we will enjoy it while we can. Lakeside Campground is one of my favorite camping sites in the North Georgia mountains. If you're still with me, you probably love these mountains too. No cell phone signal, gravel roads, lakes, rivers, mountains. But you can find the serenity even in our cities, like the Atlanta Botanical Garden in Gainesville, Georgia. Do you ever wonder why this is not considered a form of art? People working with nature to create natural beauty that heals mind and soul. This is the highest form of art that celebrates nature and higher force that created all this magic. This town was established in the early 1800s. Initially it was named Mule Camp Springs, and later in 1821 renamed to Gainesville. Gainesville began to grow from around 1,000 residents in 1870 to over 5,000 by 1900, primarily thanks to the thriving textile industry. The exhibits in this museum celebrate all people who lived here, including Cherokee people. There's an original log cabin house of Chief Whitepat. He was a prominent Cherokee traditionalist leader who accurately predicted what would happen to his people. He died on the Trail of Tears in 1838 in Kentucky, far from his home. His cabin was found in Elgin, Georgia in 1980 and later moved to this museum. Inside the main exhibit, you'll see and learn how the early settlers lived and worked in these mountains. It's interesting that the Hollywood movie I Climbed the Highest Mountain with Susan Hayward was filmed not too far from here in 1950.
William, Yes, my dear.
I hate to leave. I've really learned to love it here and to understand it.
Gainesville today, with 42,000 residents, is not a small town. It's a modern city with high-rises, thriving economy, and an outstanding health system. After World War II, a businessman named Jesse Jewell started a poultry industry in North Georgia. This $1 billion a year business has given Gainesville the title Poultry Capital of the World. Almost 40% of the population today in Gainesville is Hispanic, and many are working in poultry processing plants. The most prominent leader of the African American community in the first part of the 20th century was Beulah Rucker Oliver, a pioneer educator. In 1911, she purchased a 12-acre land and built a boarding school for African Americans that opened in 1915. It was named Rucker Industrial School. The school continuously grew and educated not only children and young adults, but also returning war veterans. She served as the principal for more than 40 years. If you are looking for an inspiration to do something good in this world, against all odds, this is the place you want to visit. Unfortunately, today the museum was closed. There's a lot more to see in Northeast Georgia, and we'll see many more historical places, art pieces of many forms, mountains, and hopefully visit all the beautiful state parks. But on this trip, I wanted to share a special place that few people know about. This place is remote, and it's a beautiful sanctuary for many birds. It's Anthony Shoals on the Broad River, one of the last free-flowing rivers in Georgia. About this place from a beautiful documentary, River Tales, created by Georgia Outdoors in 2020 and hosted by Sharon Collins.
This is what I was looking for. This is what I was looking for. Look at this.
I hope you got something out of this video and will consider joining me on these adventures. Do you feel that with every trip, with every encounter with interesting people, all these experiences somehow expand our individual horizons? Kindness towards each other, and love for our common home, this blue, small and fragile spaceship. Recently, one of the enlightened people flew out of space and experienced what is called the overview effect that is quite common among astronauts. It's an overwhelming sense of how fragile this small blue planet is. It is alive in the universe that is basically dark, cold, and dead.
What you have given me is the most profound experience I can imagine. I'm so filled with emotion about what just happened. It's extraordinary, extraordinary.
William Shatner or Captain Kirk experience is best described by author Frank White. There are no borders or boundaries on our planet except those that we create in our minds or through human behaviors. All the ideas, religions, flags, and other concepts that divide us began to fade when looking down from the orbit. Keep expanding your horizons, my friend, and I hope that we meet somewhere in this heaven.